everyone. Thank you so much for watching us live, doing the member spotlight with Dee from DEEDEE Creative. She's going to be talking to us about Pinterest, giving us a broad overview of what Pinterest is all about, who should be using Pinterest, and just a little bit of insight on how to use Pinterest. I just told Dee that I'm a pin hoarder. I don't really know how to use it for business. So I'm really looking forward to this interview, or this educational interview with Dee. So I'm going to bring her on board now, and Dee's just going to introduce herself, and then she's going to tell us all about her business. Hi, Dee.
Hey, Janine. Thanks so much for having me.
You're most welcome. What's the weather like in Australia?
You know what? It's quite hot today. We had a horrible day yesterday. It was just raining all day. I had cabin fever because I usually go out for a bit of a walk, but I didn't. So I went for a walk this morning, and it was so hot. And I'm surprised I didn't get a little bit sunburned. But
oh wow,
yeah,
that's
beautiful.
Lovely.
Yeah,
lovely. So what is season is it now? Is it like summer, winter, autumn, spring? I'm confused. I don't know. I don't have any.
It's autumn.
So it's always summer. So I don't really pay anyone else's season.
That's the kind of weather I like. It is actually autumn, so it does cool down a little bit, but it's still very mild.
Okay, all right. And Dee, exactly where do you live in Australia? If you could just tell us a little bit about where you live, what it's like.
I'm on the Gold Coast, which is Queensland, so on the east coast of Australia.
Okay, lovely. And do you work with clients specifically only in Australia, or do you do sort of like cross-border, you work with other clients in other countries too?
I have worked with clients from all over the world. My target market has been the United States, but at the moment I have a couple of Australian clients. But the majority of my clients have been from the US, yeah.
Okay, lovely. Yeah, same with me. So my business is based in the Seychelles, but I don't obviously have any clients in the Seychelles. When I say I'm a virtual assistant, they're like, what? A virtual what? What is that? Is it even a real profession? So I work with clients, yeah, Australia, the UK, South Africa, America, and I think it's really keeps it fun and interesting for us virtual assistants, and it's so many clients in the world, so there's a little bit for each of us.
Yeah, there is.
Right, so let's get started on Pinterest. So Dee, I'm going to give you a chance to tell us a little bit about what it's like to offer Pinterest as a service, and who Pinterest is ideal for. So which business, man or woman or company should be using Pinterest, and just give us a little overview of how it works and that sort of thing. So I'm going to give you the screen, and then you can just go ahead and tell us.
Okay, so I'm Dee from DEEDEE Creative. I started off actually as a virtual assistant, doing all sorts of things, and then I realised that social media was really the thing that I wanted to do most. And I was still working around Facebook, Instagram, and helping people out with their blogs, until somebody, one of my clients, asked me to help her with her Pinterest. And I'm like, I really don't understand Pinterest. I had a Pinterest account myself, but I'm thinking, how am I supposed to help her with her Pinterest when, like you, Janine, I was hoarding. That's all I was doing initially. I had no idea that there was a strategy involved. I didn't realise that you could actually direct people back to your website using Pinterest, which was a huge eye-opener for me. So after going, I was a member of quite a few Facebook groups, and so many people were asking about Pinterest. And I was like, I really need to learn more about this. I need to understand it a bit more. So I took it upon myself to learn as much as I possibly could. The one account that I had of my own, I started messing a bit more with that in a more strategic way. Then I realised that I could create an account solely for my own business. So that's when I created my DEEDEE Creative Pinterest account, and started being a lot more strategic with my pinning. As a result, now I started that account probably 18 months ago now. As a result, 80% of my traffic to my website comes from Pinterest. And the remaining 19% is across mainly Facebook, a little bit Instagram, but not much. So, yeah, I realised that Pinterest is definitely the place to be if you want to drive traffic back to your website and increase sales, increase followers, and yeah, it's amazing. It's a visual search engine. It's very similar to Google. Well, think Google, but with images. So you do need to use the correct keywords, but it's a great place to go if you want to drive traffic back to your website.
So Dee, can you tell us a little bit, I mean, it's a bit more complicated to talk full-on strategy, but you mentioned that 80% of your traffic, your website traffic, comes from Pinterest, and I mean, that's amazing. Everybody, yeah. I mean, I think us as virtual assistants and sort of relying heavily on social media to market our businesses or to create awareness around our businesses, you know, getting 80% of traffic from social media and then one platform is incredible. So
I know.
how does that work? Like what would drive the traffic? Like, why would people get from Pinterest to your website?
Okay, so first of all, like I said, it is a visual search engine, and keywords are absolutely important. And the majority of people that use Pinterest are women, and a lot of them are looking for something to purchase or are researching something that they want to purchase. So, for example, if I was looking for a holiday, I'm searching Pinterest and I'm keying in keywords at the top in the search bar. And, for example, maybe I want to come to the Seychelles. So I'm keying in Seychelles, and pins that featured that people have pinned from their website, whether it be a blog post about their holiday in the Seychelles, or maybe it's a travel website that have got pins. If the pins look amazing, and that's number one, it is a visual search engine, so your pins have to look good. And they will have keywords in there that relate to the Seychelles or areas surrounding the Seychelles. So I can pin those pins to a board on my Pinterest, and I can go back to that, and each pin, when I actually click on it, will direct me to that blog post or that website. So basically, you need to have amazing content. So your pins have to look good, and you have to have written words in there that contain a lot of keywords, relevant keywords to that particular pin. And although keyword stuffing, it doesn't work in a Pinterest description, but you need to write something that makes sense so that somebody is going to click through and read your blog post or click through to the travel website and do their research. And of course, ultimately, that person will become a buyer.
That's very true. It's, you know, like with all social media, the emphasis is on content. If your content is good, visually appealing, and the words, your captions and your writing makes sense and is attention grabbing, then it's going to inspire people to click on that. So on average, because all social media is hard work, I'm more of an Instagrammer myself, and I know how much time I dedicate to Instagram. I mean, I went to bed probably about 2 o'clock this morning at around 10. I mean, I did have some internet problems, but I spend a good chunk of my day just on Instagram. So, Dee, how much time do you, if you're working on one client's account, how much of your time actually goes to doing everything you can do with Pinterest, but working on one client's account?
There's so many variables involved in that. It depends on how far established or how well established their account is, what their industry is, how much content they have on their website, whether I have to create any content myself. Yeah, so I can't actually give a clear number on that. I do like to schedule content in advance. So I might sit down for 1 or 2 hours and either create the content or source the content, add it to the scheduler, make sure all the keywords are correct, make sure it actually goes where it's supposed to go, so the link is correct. Because there are also a lot of pins out there that go to a 404 error page, for example, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, it's annoying.
So,
sometimes I get this really great graphic and I think, oh, wow, I really want to read this article, and I click on it and it takes me to an error page, or it takes me to some really random, I think it's like an affiliate link probably type.
Possibly.
It's like a graphic to grab you, and then when you click on it, it takes you to something that's not related. Yeah, so that's been my experience with it, but yeah, checking links is important.
Absolutely. So it can take a bit of time. So anything that I do source that is not that client's content themselves, I do have to double check that pin does go where it's supposed to go, because there's nothing worse than having a board full of pins that, like you say, it could be spam or going to error links or error pages. Yeah. So there is a bit involved. And also everything from creating the boards, making sure that their board descriptions are keyword rich, making sure that the board names are keyword rich as well, because people, when they're searching in Pinterest, they could be searching for a pin, they could be searching for a board, they could be searching for a person. And if you don't have the right keywords in there, you're never going to show up in Pinterest search at all.
And Dee, do you create, so in terms of the actual pin graphics, is that something that you do as well for your clients?
It is something I do add to my my packages. It's not standard in my packages. It's an addition. It's a it's a paid addition. Yeah.
And offer that if they needed it, then you can do that. And yeah, exactly. So, how many followers do you currently have on Pinterest?
I think it's about 2,000, 2,500 or thereabouts. But I have something like 360,000 views per month at the moment. So that's huge. Yeah.
That's really impressive. So it's around 2,000 followers. That's like a really high mark, right? That's like
it's average. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Like 10K followers on Instagram, for example. It's like what we always aspire to,
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I know.
I think I have about 50. So we'll not talk about my or maybe 100 by now. I actually don't check it that often because I use my personal one more because I hoard on my personal Pinterest.
Yes. But the great thing about Pinterest is you can have your business account, so you can have it themed to be just your business, and anything that you want to hoard, you can make those boards secret so nobody can see them. So you can still save your pins that you want to, that are absolutely not related to your business, save them to a secret board that nobody else can see.
Yeah, exactly. So, Dee, besides Pinterest, what other services do you offer?
That's funny because I'm actually changing up my website and my business offerings now, and I want to predominantly feature just Pinterest as my services. I have done other things like Instagram hashtag research and writing blog posts, ghostwriting and so forth. But Pinterest is the one thing that I've found that I'm good at, I enjoy, and so that's my main focus.
Yeah, that's lovely. I think as virtual assistants, it's important to, or any business owner, really, it's important to do what you love doing, what you're good at doing, because when you love what you do and when you're good at what you do, people can pick up on that. And when I find, for example, when I'm telling clients about what I do, I really love what I do. The services that I provide are exactly what I like. So, my services are tailored around marketing, online marketing for new life, health, and wellness coaches. And I have a marketing brand, so I'm always thinking about ways to sell and promote. I am creative as well, but it's not something that I love doing as a profession. I love promoting, and that shines through. And Dee, when you talk about Pinterest, I can see that really shines through, that you really enjoy Pinterest. You know your stuff, you have a great conversation around it. So virtual assistants need to find services that they love doing, and then that's how you attract your ideal client. I think so often when we start out as VAs, we think we need to offer services that, just like such a broad range of services. That's not really something that we want to do, but we have to offer it. And then that's when we get into this rut, we get stuck, we feel uninspired, because it's not really something we need to do. So our businesses, we need to build around what we love, what we are good at, and what our ideal clients need. So exactly. So Dee, thank you so much for visiting us today and for inspiring us with Pinterest. I'm going to spend a bit more time on my account and work on that. But I don't know if there's anything else that you want to leave us with, maybe a tip or a bit of inspiration. So
just a couple of things I'd like to mention. There are 200 million monthly active users on Pinterest. So it's something you really should be considering for your business if you're not already using it.
Perfect. Oh, and just before we end, I wanted to ask you one question. Who should be on Pinterest? What type of business should be? Because I think that's where a lot of confusion comes in. People don't know, should I be on Pinterest? Shouldn't I? What type of business owner should consider Pinterest as part of their marketing strategy?
Well, they say that the best, the businesses that get the most traffic are anything to do with travel, fashion, and food. So if you have like a recipe website or a travel blog, they do exceptionally well on Pinterest. But like I said, I mean, I'm just a VA and mine is doing remarkably well. If you do a lot of writing or you have a blog of any kind, you can do amazing things with Pinterest, definitely. Yeah.
Perfect. Right. So Dee, anything else from your side?
No, I think that is about it. Just on a side note, if you're wondering what big businesses are actually using Pinterest successfully, I did a little bit of research myself because these are the businesses I don't actually look for. Carnival Cruise Lines have a Pinterest account. Warner Brothers Studios and Disney all have Pinterest accounts. So there you go.
Yeah. So we need to look them up. Disney. I love Disney.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a Disney freak. I have and my husband and I go to Disney in Florida at least once every 2 years. At least.
Yeah.
Children, and we go on all the rides and Universal Studios while we're there, plus, friends as a side note. But our main thing is So we're going to be looking that up. When I end this interview, guys, I'm going to drop Dee's Pinterest account link in the comments for you to watch or for you to take a look at so that you can see and be inspired. And then I'll also try and find the Carnival Cruises and Disney Pinterest links, and I'll drop that in there. But I encourage, if you're a late watcher or if you missed any of this information, or if you have any questions, reach out to Dee. She's a lovely person, and I'm sure she won't mind to answer some questions. It's very difficult to go into strategy straight away. So when it comes to strategy and really learning how to do things correctly, I'm sure Dee can recommend courses or steer you in the right direction. But if you just have any general questions, do ask Dee. She'll be happy to answer. And so thank you guys so much for watching. Dee, thank you again for making the time to come online with us and for telling us a bit about Pinterest, the big mystery on social media. And Yeah, so we'll see you back in the group. Thank you so much.
Great. Thanks so
Bye.
much for having me, Janine. Bye.